Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 biggest superhero deaths.
You didn't see that coming.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most important superhero deaths ever, be it in comics or movies. The focus is on the original moment, so it doesn't matter if the death was reversed later down the line. Obviously, beware of major spoilers. Which superhero death hit you the hardest? Let us know in the comments. Number 20. Captain Marvel. The death of Captain Marvel. Superheroes rarely die, and when they do, they typically go out in the heat of battle. Captain Marvel's 1982 passing presents a different and more grounded situation, as the hero succumbs to cancer. Set up almost a decade prior during a battle with Nitro, Marvel's illness brings together Earth's mightiest heroes. Initially so they can try and find a cure, but ultimately so they can say their goodbyes. The Death of Captain Marvel graphic novel pays respects to the hero's history, sincerely tackles grief, and even finds the time to throw in one last glorious battle between Marvel and Thanos. Number 19. Kid Flash, Young Justice. A founding member of the Young Justice team, Wally West injected a lot of humor and heart into DC's animated series. While the speedster would take a back seat in Young Justice's second season, Wally's relationship with Artemis provided glimpses into the character's maturity.
I got you your favorite food. Everything.
Babe, you rock.
In an epic finale that saw all hands on deck as the heroes tried to stop a Reach-inspired disaster, Kid Flash makes the ultimate sacrifice while saving the world.
Just tell them, okay?
Kid! Coming a bit out of nowhere, this death hit hard since Wally was still young and trying to move away from the hero business.
He loved you.
Number 18. Superboy, Infinite Crisis number 6. Born from the DNA of Superman and Lex Luthor, Kon-El had big and terrible shoes to fill as a hero. In Infinite Crisis, Connor Kent came face-to-face with Superboy Prime, a powerful and psychotic version of Superman. Driven insane following the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths, Superboy Prime specifically targets Kon-El, destroying quite a few heroes along the way. In an ultimate act of heroism that proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that he took after Superman, Superboy sacrificed himself to save the multiverse, greatly injuring but not defeating Superboy Prime along the way. Number 17. Groot, Guardians of the Galaxy. For a sentient tree that only says a single sentence, Groot is a difficult character to not love. The Guardian is playful, childlike, powerful, and also kind, making Groot a perfect partner for Rocket. During the battle for Xandar, the Guardians found themselves in a plummeting spaceship, a scenario that would have spelled death if Groot didn't step up to the plate. With Rocket's tears, the light show, and Groot's powerful line, this scene stabs right at the heart and hits a bullseye.
We are Groot.
While a baby version does show up soon after, the original Groot still died on that fateful day on Xandar. Number 16. Jean Grey, X-Men Phoenix, Endsong number 5. Jean Grey has died quite a few times throughout the decades, and her 2005 demise lasted the longest. In Phoenix Endsong, the Phoenix Force resurrects a hesitant Jean, once again forming the Dark Phoenix. Realizing that the Phoenix is beyond her control, Jean attempts to take her own life using Wolverine's claws, a moment echoed by her demise in the third X-Men movie when Wolverine stabs her.
I love you.
fueled by the love of everyone, Jean regains control, becomes the White Phoenix, and returns to the White Hot Room, which is kind of an afterlife. While technically still around, Jean was basically dead at this point, remaining as such until 2018's Phoenix Resurrection. Number 15. Rorschach, Watchmen number 12. In Alan Moore's seminal graphic novel, heroes are outlawed, an act that did little to discourage Rorschach from continuing his mission to avenge the powerless. The violent vigilante sticks by a strict code of conduct, one that allows no room for compromise. When the smartest man alive comes up with a devastating plan that will sacrifice millions but save billions, the rest of the heroes all fall in line, except for Rorschach. The investigator remains true to his ideals until the very end, even if that means making an enemy of a walking god in the form of Dr. Manhattan. Number 14. Blue Beetle, Countdown to Infinite Crisis. In the lead-up to the Infinite Crisis event, Ted Kord starts investigating a string of peculiar incidents while most of the Leaguers politely or rudely downplay the importance of the Blue Beetle's case. The hero's isolation and frustration are palpable throughout the comic, culminating in a bitter reveal that places Ted directly opposite his friend, Maxwell Lord. The Blue Beetle naturally rejects Lord's plan to create a superhuman-free world, and the hero gets a bullet for his troubles. Alone and underappreciated, Ted suffers a brutal death that could have easily been avoided if people other than Booster Gold took him seriously. Number 13. Doom Patrol, Doom Patrol number 121. Even in death, DC's Legion of the Strange live up to their reputation. Misfits forcibly brought together by the scientist's chief, the Doom Patrol are outcasts who fought among themselves, are not really viewed as heroes by the public, and go up against mostly bizarre enemies. The Doom Patrol sacrificing themselves to save a town might be the most normal thing that the team did during the 60s, and the fact Codsville only has 14 residents amplified the moment. While the series was out of commission for a while, DC eventually brought back the Doom Patrol. Number 12. Green Lantern, The Final Night number 4. Once among the universe's greatest heroes, Hal Jordan was driven mad by grief and taken over by a fear demon. As Parallax, Jordan turned his back against everything he once stood for, both as a Green Lantern and a member of the Justice League. More than a year following his fall from grace, Jordan proved to be an unlikely hero in Earth's darkest hour, sacrificing himself to save the sun and humanity. While Jordan's actions as Parallax made him near irredeemable after decades of service, Green Lantern deserved to go out like a hero. Number 11. Nightcrawler, X-Force Volume 3, number 26. Some deaths are a punch to the gut, others are an arm through the chest. Funny, positive, and energetic, Nightcrawler is a difficult X-Man to hate, and that goodwill made his 2010 death all that much harder to stomach. With Bastion within arm's reach of Hope Summers, Kurt teleports directly into the crosshairs, seemingly fully prepared to die in the process. Even with heaven calling and an extra arm sticking out of his chest, Nightcrawler still manages to get Hope to safety. Kurt's passing hits the X-Men hard, especially Wolverine. Number 10. Wolverine, Logan. Set in 2029, Logan serves as a send-off to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and Weapon X goes out on a high. Adamantium poisoning and decades of wear and tear have taken their toll on Logan, leaving behind a shadow of his former self. As he tries to lead Laura to Eden, Logan is basically on death's door throughout most of the journey. Scarred, exhausted, but at peace, Logan dies protecting the next generation of mutants.
Take your friends and run.
A heroic end for a character that had seen and shed rivers of blood during his lifetime. Number 9. Supergirl, Crisis on Infinite Earths number 7. One of DC's biggest crossover events ever, Crisis on Infinite Earths sees plenty of heroes and villains die as the Anti-Monitor starts to eradicate various worlds. Although a bit part player for most of the event's run, Kara takes center stage as a group of heroes enter the Antimatter universe to try and defeat the Anti-Monitor. With Superman on the receiving end of a beating, Supergirl steps up to save the Man of Steel, dying in the process. Supergirl goes out in a blaze of glory, worthy of such a powerful hero. Superman's reaction really sells this death's impact. Number 8. Spider-Man, Avengers Infinity War. Peter Parker has died a few times in the comics, like Ultimate Spider-Man number 160, and it always hits like a ton of bricks. While comic readers were prepared to see Ultimate Peter die in a storyline entitled The Death of Spider-Man, few people were ready to see Spidey go out on the big screen.
I don't feel so good.
Thanos' snap takes out roughly 50% of the MCU's heroes, and none are as devastating as Peter vanishing while in Tony's arms.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
The fact Peter eventually got better doesn't matter. During that moment, the world helplessly watched as everyone's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man turned to dust. Number 7. Jean Grey, Phoenix, Uncanny X-Men number 137. One of X-Men's greatest story arcs, the Dark Phoenix saga revolves around Jean Grey as she becomes an almost unstoppable force after receiving a blast of radiation. With some help from Mastermind, Jean loses control and becomes the Dark Phoenix, a star-absorbing, planet-destroying powerhouse. In a climactic battle to determine the Phoenix's fate, Jean kills herself to keep her dark half at bay, an act that has defined the character ever since. While Marvel eventually revealed that this wasn't the real Jean, in 1980, nobody knew that. The Phoenix died protecting Cyclops and Earth, going out like a hero rather than a villain. Number 6. Iron Man, Avengers Endgame. Since the MCU's Infinity Saga started out with Iron Man, it was only fitting that it more or less ended with Tony Stark.
I am Iron Man.
While Black Widow defeating Hawkeye to earn the right to die heroically is also a powerful moment, Endgame leaves its biggest superhero death for its final act. Proving beyond any doubt that he has a heart, Tony uses the Infinity Gauntlet to defeat Thanos while fully aware that this snap will cost him his life.
And I am Iron Man.
Tony's death brought to an end an era in the MCU, setting the stage for other heroes to emerge.
Everything's gonna work out exactly the way it's supposed to. I love you 3000.
Number 5. Robin, Batman number 428. The life of every Robin is difficult, but Jason Todd's tenure was especially cruel. In a unique and polarizing move, DC allowed the audience to vote on the second Robin's fate, and Jason lost. Putting aside the external circumstances around the character's demise, Jason's death is brutal, with Joker giving Batman's sidekick a vicious beating that remains haunting even all these years later. Jason's passing would influence Batman for a long time to come, and the character actually remained dead for nearly 2 decades. A death in the family marks a milestone moment in DC's history that eventually paved the way to the awesome Red Hood. Number 4. The Flash, Crisis on Infinite Earths number 8. By the mid-80s, DC had mostly resisted the urge to kill off any flagship characters, but an event as universe-changing as Crisis on Infinite Earths required such a sacrifice. Hinted at throughout the storyline, Barry Allen cemented his legacy as he destroyed the Anti-Monitor's cannon, saving multiple Earths in the process. As Barry ran like he never ran before, the hero thought of his loved ones, the people he would gladly die to save. The visual of the Flash fading to nothing is one of DC's most iconic, a fitting send-off to a hero synonymous with comics in general. Number 3. Captain America, Captain America Volume 5, number 25. The aftermath of Marvel's massive Civil War storyline includes a moment arguably bigger than anything in the main crossover event itself. En route to face trial, Steve Rogers is shot and killed by Crossbones and a mind-controlled Sharon Carter. The death of the dream delivers exactly what it promises, as Cap goes out in a way that feels extremely human but also undeniably inspirational. Even as his life slipped away, Rogers still prioritized the safety of the civilians around him, some of which were not pro-Captain America at the time. Number 2. Wolverine. Death of Wolverine, number 4. Debuting in 1974, Wolverine has enjoyed quite a storied existence, both in-universe and out of it. Stripped of his healing factor and with a bounty on his head, the Death of Wolverine story arc sees Logan revisiting many of the moments that helped define him, be it the Weapon X program or a trip to Japan. The simple storyline highlights Logan's character as a lone wolf and a hero with a kill count that would rival most villains. Although Logan dies alone, the X-Man is mourned by many, a reflection of the impact Wolverine left on the Marvel Universe. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Robin, Batman Incorporated Volume 2, number 8, because Damian Wayne had grown a lot during Grant Morrison's run. Professor X, Avengers vs. X-Men, number 11, because Charles falls at the hands of perhaps his greatest student. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man number 700, because it led to the great Superior Spider-Man era. Elektra, Wolverine Volume 3, number 24, because second time around, Elektra died as a fully fledged hero. Bucky Barnes, Avengers number 4, because Bucky's death lasted for a very long time.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Superman. Superman Volume 2, number 75. An icon, a legend, an institution. The death of Superman instantly made every hero, regardless of their status, mortal. If Superman could fall, then anyone could. While Superman's death didn't last too long, its impacts left a huge mark on the industry, and the story arc has been adapted multiple times since. The Death of Superman comic shows the Man of Steel fighting valiantly and brutally against Doomsday. Even in the face of imminent destruction, Metropolis's hero stood tall to the bitter end. This arc brought a touch of vulnerability to a hero not known for it.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.